So after about 3 years, have the opportunity to come back to Taiwan to talk about what is important to you. Because in this world, in this life, the focus is on everything else. All the things that happen in this world. The focus is on our responsibilities. The focus is on what other people have told us. But what is this life all about? What does it mean that you are here? What does it mean that you are alive? What does it mean that you can think? What does it mean that you can feel? What does it mean that you can understand? Because if you can feel, then what have you felt? Have you felt anger? Have you felt doubt? Have you felt bad? And if you have, then this is not what you were made for. This is not your quality. If you have felt confused, ever, then in that moment of your confusion, of your sadness, of your pain, of your anger, you were doing something other than what you were made for. Because your existence can allow you to feel joy. You see, you have to understand the nature of things. You can take wood, and out of that wood you can carve a chicken. You understand? You can take that piece of wood and you can carve a chicken. But it will remain wood. It will not become a chicken. It may look like a chicken, but it will not become a chicken. It will not lay eggs. All the other attributes will not be there. Only one attribute might be there. And that attribute, that it looks like a chicken. You can take wood and carve it and paint it to look like bread. But it will remain wood. It will not become bread. You won't be able to eat it. It won't smell like it. You won't be able to toast it. It will remain that way. Attributes. Not all the attributes will be there. So why am I giving you this example? Because what is your nature? What is truly your nature? Of all the things that happen in your life, they may or may not, you will still remain who you are. You will desire for those things that you are. You will want those things that you truly want. And either it can be a struggle, a fight, to change your nature, but you will never win. Or understand your nature and get on with your life. Get on with your life. There's no two ways about it. There are no two ways about it. Fire. Yesterday, again, one of those things happened where I had an artificial candle, the new electronic candle. It feels like candle, it smells like candle, it has a little switch at the bottom, you can turn it on, it lights like candle, it flickers like candle. It's very realistic, but it is not a candle. It gives no heat. And most importantly, it cannot light other candles. It's very good looking, but it cannot light other candles. A real candle can light other candles. What is your nature? What do you know of it? Why do you think you have come? Why do you think you have come on this earth? Is it for all the things that you do? Or is it for something beautiful? Look at yourself. Look at your life. Look at who you are. Not your face. This is not who you are. Feel your heart. Have you felt the goodness inside of you? The goodness. Something that wants you to feel the joy. There's something that I was saying at one of these events. We always are confused about what is joy. We think having a family, watching this, watching that, doing this, doing that, all this is joy. And many saints that have written about the joy do not say that it's not joy. But they say it's not permanent joy. It's temporary. It's here, it'll be gone. Have you not felt the desire in your heart to feel the permanent joy. Then the question is, what do you do to have the permanent joy? In my room, one fake candle, two real candles. So the fake candle, you turn on, you just throw a switch. But for the real candle, you need a source of fire, and once you have lit that candle, you can light another candle, another candle, another candle, another candle, another candle, another candle, another candle. Thousands of candles. Are you into carving the wood into chicken? Are you carving the wood into a piece of bread and hoping that this will take care of your hunger? Because if you are, I am sorry, it will never happen. Never. Never. You see, a lot of people believe you can read the books and learn all that there is to know. You have to be careful, because where does it start from? If you give a child a book of alphabet. Last night, this is what I was thinking. If you give a child a book of alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, my question to you is, can the child learn this alphabet from the book or not? Because if it was true, then I should be able to read Chinese. If that was true, you should be able to read Hindi. You see, somebody has to come along and point at this thing that looks like this and say to the child, A. The child then, seeing and hearing, connects the two. A, B, C, and so on. Without this connection, the child would not know what that is. It is not the eyesight that is required. I mean, my eyesight is good enough to read, to see the Chinese characters. And I know something is written. But what is it? I don't know. All this knowledge that exists on the outside, connections have to be made for it to make sense. But the knowledge of the self, the connection has been made by the heart. You. You know that what you look for is inside of you. You don't know how, but you know what you are looking for is inside of you. When the master talks, he reminds you what it is that you are looking for, reminds you what is your thirst all about, reminds you what is your quest in this life. It's like an instrument. And it's tuned and it's waiting. The instrument has no ability, the instrument has no ability to make a song. Can't. This will come from the note selection of the person who will play the instrument, of what it will sound like. The instrument does not have the delicateness of the expression. This will come from the player, not the instrument. You understand this? This is the instrument. You are the player. When you are incapable of producing the right note, don't blame the instrument. You, the player, missed it. When your music sounds dry, no expression, don't blame the instrument. It's you. Many people. The most beautiful sound, one of the most beautiful sounds you could possibly make with this instrument is the sound of happiness, sound of contentment, the sound of joy. And when you can't make it, you say, I need this, I need this. If I had this, then I will be happy. If I had this, then I will be happy. If I had this, I'll be happy. If I had this, I'll be happy. And you're looking for what? Perfectness in an imperfect world. This becomes your quest. This is not your quest. Your quest was to be fulfilled. Your quest was to be in joy. Your quest wasn't to try to make the imperfect perfect. How did this happen? when I have this, when I have that, when I have a family, when my family grows up, when I have a good job, when I have retired, when I go to the pilgrimage, when I go to the temple, when I go this place, when I go that place, then I will be happy. And you're chasing a dream, trying to create perfect world that by its nature is imperfect. It cannot be changed. You are now again doing the same thing. You are making bread out of wood. And I don't care how good of a cook you are and how experienced you are, you will never be able to make edible bread out of that wood. So, for you, the opportunity that knowledge brings is so important to recognize, because knowledge brings clarity. What is clarity? What is clarity? You know, for a lot of people, they think knowing everything is clarity. Knowing everything is not clarity. You know that tomatoes cannot be substituted for onions. Onion is onion, tomato is tomato. Salt water is salt water. It may look like water, but if you drink salt water, it will kill you. You need fresh water, not salt water. When people are in the ocean, they are drowning, or they have been in the ocean in survival situations, they're thirsty, and they're surrounded by water. They're surrounded by water. They're surrounded by water. And the clarity in that moment is, don't drink this. No matter how thirsty you are, don't drink this. It'll kill you. Clarity. Let me not make the attempt to make the imperfect world into perfect. No. What is clarity? Clarity is, I need to remember my quest. Who needs to be fulfilled in this world? You need to be fulfilled in this world. Clarity. Do you need to change this? Do you need to change that? Do you need to change this? No, 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 no. Clarity is not lying in the raft in the middle of the ocean and going, how did I get here? If only I would have not decided to go to this place, then I wouldn't be here. That's not clarity. It's a little too late for that. You already are in the middle of the ocean. You already are in the raft. And now begins your saga of survival. And clarity is to recognize that. Clarity becomes, what am I losing the most quickly? Because that which I'm losing the most quickly, I need to pay attention to it. Do you know what you're losing the most quickly? Time. Gone. Gone. For how long? Forever. Forever. You understand forever? It's a long time, forever. This is what you're losing most quickly. Do something to save it. Do something to capture it. Because without this, who's what? Who are we? What are we? On one hand, here's the physical body. It's a miracle. Blood cells, red blood cells, white blood cells, antibodies, veins, nerves, skin, bone. It is amazing. Own pump to pump the blood, brain to think, sensors to see, hear, smell, taste, hard, soft, hot, cold. And run on one very simple thing. Besides all the nutrients that you get from food and water that is required, one more thing. Breath. The ability of this breath to be able to come in and this breath to be able to go out. And so far that is happening. You are called alive. This, you understand the least. And this knowledge focuses on the most. There's a saying in Egypt that after you die, this is Egyptian, old Egyptian, time of the pharaohs. And they describe, you go through this fight and you have to go through this gate and you go through this thing and then there is demons here and you have to know how to fight those demons and so on and so on and so on. And finally, if you succeed in all of that, you will enter the gate of heaven. And at this gate, you will be asked 2 questions. And the questions are, did you find happiness? Did you find joy in this life? Question 1. If you say yes, good. And then the second question. Did you help? Did you help someone else find the happiness, the joy in their life? And if you say yes to both, you can come to heaven. We do well when we live from moment to moment, appreciating every moment. We do well. When we begin to look at the moments as days or months or weeks or years, we will all be disappointed. This is how we are. This time that we have, if you can feel the gratitude in your heart for every breath that has come in and out of you, every smile that has come in and out of you, every joy, every moment, every shard, every fraction, every little piece of joy that has come through this body, to be thankful for that. To know, to understand your mortality, and at the same time, the infinite that resides inside of you. This is your strength. Your strength isn't a strong arm. Your strength is not a strong body. But your strength is a strong being that is in peace. That is the true human strength. When you were a little baby, you couldn't walk. You couldn't talk. Then you grew up a little bit. You could talk, you could walk, you could think, you could desire, you could want. All that. But it came at a price, and you had to stop being a baby. Then you grew up a little bit more, and now you could negotiate. You could tell lies. You could think. You could set goals. You could have dreams of your future. And this is now you could do. But that came at a price. And the price was you had to lose your innocence to be able to have all that. Then came the time in your life of where you had certain ideas and certain understandings, certain experiences. You knew certain things. But that came at a price, and you had to lose your youth. And then comes the last part. And in that part, you start to almost become a baby again. Walking becomes a little hard. It's almost a compression of all the things. But it has no youth, no innocence, and no baby qualities. And then you go. You go to ultimately once more become what you were. But this time, you lose your identity. That's it. Identity will be lost. The sum of your experiences, the sum of your understanding, the sum of your innocence, the sum of your youth, the sum of all those things that make you you will ultimately be gone. That is in the contract. You will, once again, become dirt from where you came. So, of all the hopes, there is the hope of the return to some picture, some frame, some idea of what your life is all about, or the hope that all will be well. That's the hope I want for me, the trust. Because what makes divine divine? Judgment? No. Kindness? Yes. And so much kindness, so much clarity, so much understanding that I can look at that power and say, yes, it is divine. And that divine is the strength of the hope that all will be